इंडिया का फैशन कैपिटल एवरीडे स्पाइसेस लिया अगरबत्ती TVS Apache RTR एंड हिमालय प्यूरिफाइंग नीम फेस वॉश पिंपल फ्री हेल्दी स्किन का एक्सपर्ट. Assam police unearths a link between Popular Front of India and Bangladesh-based jihadi Ansarul Bangla team. Evidences of radical groups operating in at least 10 districts come to fore, anti-government proactive pamphlets being circulated. Shocker from Manipur. Inmate allegedly beaten to death in drugs rehabilitation center. Kin of victim cry foul. Joint Action Committee demands proper probe and action against guilty. Security forces people join hands in Arunachal Pradesh's Longding district to fight insurgency. Assam Rifles, Arunachal Pradesh Police to intensify counter-terrorism operations in TCL region. Politicking picks pace ahead of Tripura by-elections. BJP confident of sweeping polls. Opposition escalates attack on Saffron Party for alleged misrule. And Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma's blazing campaign trail in Karbi Anglong hops on development agenda in poll-bound Hills district on his last day of poll campaign. And the Gyalching Sessions Court rejects bail plea of SDF leaders Abhinash Yakha and Ringjing Norbu Bhutia. Both leaders missing since April 30th soaring violence. Hello and welcome to Evening Prime. I'm Priyadarshini Medhi and we start the bulletin with a big story this evening. Well, Assam police has found the Popular Front of India outfit to be having links with Bangladesh-based terror group Ansarul Bangla team. Addressing the media, Special ADGP Hiren Nath said that they have found credible evidence of links between the PFI and the Ansarul Bangla team. Nath said that the police has filed a total of 18 cases have been filed in this regard. And of this, 16 FIRs are against the PFI, while 2 FIRs are against the Campus Front of India outfit. Nath said that these outfits are active mostly in districts of Lower Assam and are always trying to create communal trouble. He also said that the PFI and CFI engage in distribution of pamphlets which are proactive and communal in nature.
Actually, you see, PFI is trying to get foothold in Assam for quite some time. In the recent past, we have registered total 18 cases, 16 cases against PFI and 2 cases against CFI. And we have submitted charge sheets in 12 cases so far. And other rest of the cases are under investigation. Now, you might have seen that one of the modus operandi of this group or the workers is that anything happening anywhere in the country which do not have any connection with Assam, maybe some hijab issue or something relating to some temples or mosques, so they will demonstrate here in different parts, especially in the Lower Assam region, in Guwahati city, Gwalpara, Barpeta district, Baksa, Dhubri, like this, and parts of Barak Valley also. And another thing, what we have seen, that anything relating to a minority community, it may be a road accident, it may be a quarrel between two groups, it may be some misunderstanding, it may be investigation of a case by a law enforcement agency, they try to term it as an attack on the minority community or attack on the or exploitation of the minority community. So this is some kind of a provocation. So if you provoke people continuously, so it's very dangerous for a democratic country, for the system. So exactly what they are doing this thing now,
Hiren Nath also said that the police are keeping a close watch on their activities. He said here that these outfits are engaged in distributing anti-government pamphlets among the minorities and are doing so in a secret manner.
Some of the things what they are doing may not be directly showing that they are doing something anti-national. But recently, Guwahati city registered two cases, and another case was registered in Dhubri district, where they were clandestinely publishing some materials, some pamphlets in a printing press in Guwahati. Generally, when you print a pamphlets, the name of the press and details of the publisher and others are also given. But in this case, we have seen that they have not done this thing. They have written something anti-national, anti-government things there, and then they asked one courier to take these printed pamphlets at night without mentioning that these packets contain the pamphlets. So it shows that they are up to something which they are doing very secretly, very clandestinely, and we are keeping very sharp watch. One thing is clear, that we will not allow them to have strong footholds in this part of the country. We are very much alarmed. We are continuously alerting our lower formations, and that will not be allowed to do, though they are trying their level best.
The Assam Police Special ADGPI further said that PFI is active in at least 10 districts, most of which are in Lower Assam. Hiranath said here that the PFI is most active in the districts of Borpeta, Gwalpara, Baksa, and parts of the Parag Valley. He said that police is keeping a close watch on their activities in these districts. Nath said that the authorities have no problem if things are done in a democratic manner. However, he mentioned that any act of provocation is a matter of concern.
We have found their activities mainly in Barpeta, Gwalpara district, Baksa, and parts of Darang district. At least in 10 districts, they are trying to consolidate, and we are keeping very sharp watch on their activities. If they do something democratically within the purview of law, we have nothing to do. But when you're trying to do something very secretly and trying to provoke people against another community, trying to whip up the sentiment of the common people, ordinary people, then it's an area of concern for us.
Nath also said here that strong action would be taken by the police if need be for the maintenance of law and order. He said that strong action would be taken against anyone who dares to disturb the law and order scenario of the state.
As a law enforcement agency, my duty of Assam Police is to maintain law absolutely without any trouble anywhere. Now, anyone trying to disturb this social peace and tranquility, take law into their hands, we should be very much stern against them. We will take very strong action. We cannot allow this thing. If you are doing something democratically, observing all the norms, without disturbing other communities, without disturbing the sentiments of the other communities, we have nothing to say, nothing to object in this regard. But whenever you say something which is not related to the state, and you are also whipping up the sentiment, every moment you are trying to mislead the people with false propaganda, then it's an area of concern. So we'll be keeping sharp watch on this.
And on to Manipur now. In a shocker, an inmate of de-addiction center in Manipur was allegedly beaten to death last night. The deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Lukram Ningthau alias Sanjoy. According to inputs, Ningthau, along with two of his friends, were apprehended by a team of Nambol police on May 31st on charges of consuming drugs. Subsequent to this, Ning Thao was sent to the Revived Drug De-Addiction Cum Rehabilitation Center on the same day. Meanwhile, family members of the deceased received a call from the Nambol police station and asked them to reach Sayong Hospital for discussing about an incident. However, to their utter shock, Ningthao's family members learned about his sudden death only after reaching the hospital. As per reports, doctors informed that Ningthao was brought dead to the Sion hospital. It needs to be mentioned that the injury marks were clearly visible in the body of the deceased, which indicates that Lukram Ningthao might have been brutally assaulted, leading to his death. According to reports coming in, three staff members of the Revived Drug De-Addiction Cum Rehabilitation Center have been detained by the police for interrogation. So, indeed, a shocker coming in from Manipur viewers. An inmate of de-addiction center in the state was allegedly beaten to death last night, and the deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Rukram Ningtho alias Sanjoy. According to inputs that we are getting in, well, Ningthao, along with two of his friends, were apprehended by a team of Nambol police on May 31st on charges of consuming drugs. Subsequent to this, Ningthao was sent to the Revived Drug De-Addiction Cum Rehabilitation Center on the same day. Meanwhile, family members of the deceased received a call from the Nambol police station and asked them to reach Saigon Hospital for discussing about an incident. However, to their utter shock, Ningthao's family members learned about his sudden death only after reaching the hospital. As per reports, the doctors informed that Ning Thao was brought dead to the Sion hospital. It needs to be mentioned here that injury marks were clearly visible in the body of the deceased, which indicates that Lukram Ning Thao might have been brutally assaulted, leading to his death. According to reports coming in, three staff members of the Revived Drug De-Addiction Cum Rehabilitation Center have been detained by the police for interrogation. Meanwhile, our colleague Sharad Chandra spoke exclusively to the bereaved family members of Lukram Ningthao alias Sanjoy. Listen in.
Right now, our team is at the mortuary of RIMS hospital. You see, these are the victims' family, disease family. They are coming here at the RIMS mortuary, waiting for the autopsy test for the dead body. Uh, I should say that another case of this inmate of a one rehabilitation center allegedly beaten to death. This is another case now resurfaced in Manipur, and this incident happened last evening when one inmate, namely Sanjay, is at about 32. According to the family members, he was beaten very badly and succumbed to his injury. These are the allegations from the victim's family, and with me is the victim's family. This is the elder sister, Maseniko, elder sister of Sanjay, namely Surjabala. Kari kari no maru na tang kunrama thoi duma haipet rehabilitation center mingna revive the rehabilitation center haibako nambol ulo swaida leba male masayda gano to buse leiji buse kayam kuire
The 31 the thambane aduga ma 32 the ne ma series.
that to the ship that
3 days.
3 days later
3 days su deva.
okay around 30 past the leiji yeah, according to the Surjabla is the elder sister of the deceased Sanjay. According to her, the Sanjay was loose, put into put into the rehabilitation center, namely Revive the Rehabilitation Center located in Ulau area on 31st of May. According to the Surjabla, they just with the consultation of the whole family, they just put Sanjay to this particular rehabilitation center so that he can be reformed. But yes, unfortunately, he just according to the family members, he was very badly beaten by the staffs of this rehabilitation center and succumbed to his injury. And we also came to know after interacting with the Sajurla that Sanjay is survived by one minor daughter and his wife. And now big question is who is going to replace the Sanjay? Sanjay is now dead. His dead body is now lying at the mortuary of the RIMS hospital. And now the hope has been scattered like anything. They hope that the Sanjay will be reformed after putting into the rehabilitation center. Now they are coming here to collect the dead body of the Sanjay. So what is the last appeal from you, Sajula?
My last appeal is that in this place, in this state, there are many sisters like me. There are many mothers like our mothers who are suffering for their addicted son. So, our honorable CM, we heard that you are very gentle. Please, please, stop this rehabilitation corruption. Stop this rehabilitation. Those who are running only for money, those who are running, misusing the rehabilitation center's name, and they are unreasonably, they are beating. So please look for it. Look into the matter, and please, my brother Sanjay Singh, please, whatever possibility is there to punish the culprit, please help us and please listen to our appeal. This is my humble request to the Honorable CM.
Yeah, this is a very humble request from Sarjurbala, who is the elder sister of Sanjay. Sanjay was the only brother for them, and you see, now their appeal to the Chief Minister of Manipur and Biren Singh is that now time has come to look into the old rehabilitation center running across the state. And we also learned that the state government do have the around 25 rehabilitation center, but private rehabilitation center outnumber the rehabilitation center run by the government. Private center, so far we have learned that around 50 of the private rehabilitation center are running across the state. And now the big question is many of the rehabilitation center that is run by private, owned by the private individual, running without any proper guidance, proper guideline being laid down by the social welfare department. This is a big question. Now time has come for the Chief Minister and Biren Singh to intervene into the matter so that such kind of death should not take place in the future. With video journalist Roshan, this is Sarath Chandra reporting for Northeast Live from Impal.
And time for a very short break now. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
বেবি এইটো ল নে এইটো
5th জুনত মিছৰ চেল আছে নহয় তেন্তে এইটো আৰু এইটো লৈ লোৱা
মিছৰ মহা ইণ্ডিয়ান সেভিং সেল 5th জুনত
আনন্দৰ উৎসৱ বিহু আহিছে ঘৰে ঘৰে আহাৰৰ সোৱাদ জাগিছে এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ উইশেছ ইউ এ হেপী বিহু এভৰিডে স্পাইচ
Welcome back. You're watching Northeast Live. I'm moving on to Tripura now. The Bharatiya Janata Party has formally announced its candidates for the upcoming by-elections in Tripura. The party today released an official list showing the name of the candidates and the constituencies they would be contesting from. As per the list, Manik Saha, who is also the current Chief Minister of Tripura, would be contesting from the town Bordowali seat. Ashok Sinha would be contesting from Agartala seat, Swapna Paul Das would be contesting from Surma seat, and Malina Devnath would be contesting from Jubaraj Nagar seat. And on the other hand, Congress also released their list today, where they announced that former Minister Sudeep Roy Burman would be contesting from Agartala seat, and former MLA Ashish Kumar Saha would be contesting from town Bordowali. With this, while Ashish Kumar Saha is pitted against Chief Minister Manik Saha, Sudeep Roy Burman would be facing off against BJP's Ashok Sinha. And ahead of the Tripura by-elections, the ruling BJP and the Congress has announced the names of its candidates. The Congress is fielding Sudeep Roy Burman from the Agartala and Ashish Kumar Saha from town Bordowali constituency. Both of them have been sitting MLAs from these seats earlier in 2018 with BJP tickets, but they will be fielding it this time on Congress tickets. Talking exclusively to Northeast Live, Congress candidates Sudeep Roy Burman and Ashish Kumar Saha said that people are fed up with the misrule of the ruling BJP and getting an opportunity shall cast their vote against BJP.
There is complete misgovernance. One do not see the existence of any government over here. I'll fight this election with our ideology and principle in keeping that in view. I'll take very seriously the BJP, especially keeping in view of the autocratic mindset above these people across the country, because economically India is in an awkward position. Our dollar, our Indian rupee has gone down, its value has gone down. Inflation is on its peak. So all these issues I'll be taking to the people and seeking their blessings so that Congress comes out victorious in these two constituencies where the AICC has already declared the candidature. Friend of mine, might be he's in the BJP, but this is not an issue of personal issue. I wish him all the best, and I'll see him on the field.
टाउन बर्दवाली के लिए मेरा नाम भी आया है। मुझे लगा कि बहुत दिनों के बाद बीजेपी छोड़ के कांग्रेस में ज्वाइन करने के बाद हमारे लिए ये एक बहुत गिफ्ट है। मेरा आम जनता से, हमारी जो बर्दवाली कंस्टिट्यूंसी का जो वोटर है, उनके पास मेरी तरफ से वार्ता है, एकदम आप लोग भय डर मुक्त होके घर से निकाल के आइए, आप वोट डालिए, ये चुनाव में आपका जो मंशा है वो पूरा कीजिए, क्योंकि 4.5 साल यहाँ का जो सरकार, ये सरकार किसी के लिए कुछ भी नहीं कर पाया।
Meanwhile, Dr. Ashok Sinha, who was contesting from Agartala, viewed that if opposition have any problem and allegations, then can always approach the Election Commission and have confidence on it. He said that he is confident that this time BJP will win with much more vote. He viewed that there is no challenge for the BJP as there is a team which is always ready for election.
There is no challenge actually. We have a team and the team is always ready. All I have to do is go and talk to them, mix with them. They'll do everything for us. There is nothing difficult. There is nothing simple. Everything is a routine. There is an election routine. BJP has a routine for elections. So you'll just follow the procedure. Personal relations are there and there is no difficulty. It's good. It's good to be friendly with everyone. Whoever is in opposition, they have this habit of saying booth capturing, this and that. Election Commission, you have to trust. You cannot say that Election Commission is not working. You cannot say the judiciary is not working. Election Commission is a quasi-judicial body. You have to trust them. If you say Election Commission doesn't work, then why doesn't BJP win in every state? It's not like this. It is there. There were issues during CPM time, and those we sorted out through the Election Commission, not by complaining in public. We sorted them out through the Election Commission, and Election Commission sorted out when they realized there were certain problems, they sorted them out in 2018 election. And I'm sure if the opposition has any problems, they can always approach the election.
For the crucial Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council polls, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma is leaving no stone unturned to ensure a decisive win for the BJP. Chief Minister Sharma, who has been campaigning in Karbi Anglong on a war footing, today attended 4 election rallies as part of his campaigning. The top BJP strategist today addressed election rallies and made the development pitch towards the voters. And meanwhile, talking to
মাঝে মাঝে দি থাকে না বৰষুণ দি থাকে না না ইয়াতে ঠিক আছে যদি ইলেকশনৰ দিনা বৰষুণ দিয়ে কি হ'ব ইলেকশনৰ দিনা বৰষুণ দিলেও আমি ভোট দিব যাম নে না যাম যাম তো একেবাৰে ৰাতিপুৱাই উঠি ইলেকশনৰ দিনা আমি ভোট দিব লাগিব কাৰণ দিনতটো বৰষুণ হৈ ইনডোৰ ষ্টেডিয়ামৰ কাম আৰম্ভ কৰিম আৰু এই ইনডোৰ ষ্টেডিয়ামৰ পৰা হিমা দাস লভলিনা বৰগোহাঁইৰ দৰে আমি অলিম্পিক চেম্পিয়ন আমি জন্ম দিম আজিকালি আপোনালোকে জানে যে অসম চৰকাৰৰ চাকৰিত কোনেও টকা পইচা দিব নালাগে কনিষ্টবলৰ চাকৰি যোৱা কেইদিনমান আগতে ওলালে যি লৰাই ধুনীয়াকৈ দৌৰিছে সিয়ে চাকৰি পাইছে কোনো 1 টকা দিবলগীয়া হোৱা নাই ইয়াত যেতিয়া আমাৰ ষ্টেডিয়াম হ'ব আমাৰ ধুনীয়াকৈ দৌৰা দৌৰি বক্সিং আমি সব প্ৰেক্টিস কৰিব লাগিব যাতে পুলিচ আৰ্মি সিআৰপিৰ সব চাকৰি দুৱাৰ বাকৰি লৰাই পাব পাৰে টৰ্চ লাইটৰ বেটাৰী নাই কাটা হাতৰ ভেলু নাই হয়নে সেইকাৰণে আমি সকলোৱে দিল্লীত বিজেপিৰ চৰকাৰ আছে দিছপুৰত বিজেপিৰ চৰকাৰ আছে আৰু ডিফুটো বিজেপিৰ চৰকাৰ বনাই আমি ট্ৰিপল ইঞ্জিনৰ চৰকাৰ আমি বনাব লাগিব যি নহওক এইবাৰ ৰিচাৰ্ড টকবিয়ে কৈছে যে ইয়াতে আনাৰস ৰাখিবৰ কাৰণে এটা কোল্ড ষ্টৰেজ বনাব লাগিব তেতিয়া আমি আনাৰসটো সিজন নহলেও আমি বিক্ৰী কৰিব পাৰিম হয়নে লাগে না নাই আৰু ইয়াতে বহুত কমলা হয় হয়নে নহয় অৰেঞ্জো হয় গতিকে আমি দুৱাৰ বাগৰিত ভৱিষ্যতে এটা কোল্ড ষ্টৰেজ বনাব লাগিব
Meanwhile, talking to our Chief of Bureau Arindam Das on the sidelines of his campaigning, Chief Minister Sharma said that the Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council polls is important for the BJP as the 4 seats of the KAAC and 1 seat from Dima Hasao ensure BJP's hold on the Defu parliamentary seat.
We are joined in by Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, who is on his last day of campaign in Karbi Anglong. Well, the Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council election is turning out to be a high-profile election campaign. It seems like Lok Sabha or Assembly election campaigning.
Look, Karbi Anglong election is important because these 4 seats plus 1 seat of Dima Hasao constitute Difu parliamentary seat. So if you win Karbi Anglong, then you are also winning Difu parliamentary seat. So from that angle, and also it is the one of the oldest district council in Assam. And you also got to connect with our Karbi brothers through this election. So this election is very, very important.
It may be mentioned here that Chief Minister Sharma addressed as many as 19 mega rallies in the last 5 days. Today's campaigning marked the end of the Assam Chief Minister's campaigning for the KAAC polls. Meanwhile, the KAAC polls are set to be held on June 8th. Well, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma has said that the reshuffle of the cabinet is going to be a minor event with just 1 new minister to be inducted. Talking to our Chief of Bureau Arindam Das, Chief Minister Sharma said that only 1 new minister hailing from a hill district of the state would be inducted into the cabinet on June 9th, and his swearing-in ceremony would be taking place for the same. The Assam Chief Minister also made it clear that none of the existing ministers in the cabinet would be dropped. The exercise is only going to be a redistribution of portfolios of the cabinet.
Announced that there will be a major reshuffle on 9th. So what is the idea?
There will be a very small minor reshuffle. We have to induct someone from hills. So there will be some changing of portfolio. Obviously, when a new minister joins, some portfolio has to be changed. But beyond that, nobody will be dropped. It will not be a major reshuffle.
Is it going to be only change of portfolios or
Only change of portfolio, nobody will be dropped.
And time for another short break. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
ভন্টি তোমাৰ নতুন টিভি
থেংক ইউ
আৰু বৰ্মা নমস্কাৰ ঘৰত আৰু কোন কোন আছে
মই তোৰ বৰদেউতা ল'ৰা বোৱাৰী নাতিনী আৰু মোদীজী
মানে নৰেন্দ্ৰ মোদী সম্বন্ধীয় নেকি বৰ্মা?
চা মোদীজীয়ে তোৰ বৰদেউতাৰ অপাৰেশ্যন কৰৱালে ঘৰত পানী বিজুলী গেছ টয়লেট চব লগাই দিলে নাই বুজা এইফালে চা বোপা যি পৰিয়ালৰ সদস্য হয় তেওঁ ঘৰত নহয় অন্তৰত থকাটো প্ৰয়োজনীয়
दुख दर्द क्या होते हैं उनको बहुत निकट से अनुभव किया है और वही अनुभव है जिसको लेकर के आज एक परिवार के सदस्य के रूप में काम कर रहा है।
ঠিকেই কৈছা বৰ্মা, মোদীজী মোৰ পৰিয়াল।
Welcome back. You're watching Northeast Live and back to Arunachal Pradesh. Well, the All Arunachal Pradesh Abotani Students Union or APATSO today staged a peaceful rally from Akashdeep to IG Park in Itanagar following the failure of the state government to address their charter of demands. Well, these include a permanent solution on ST and PRC issues of 6 communities of the Lekang constituency and also immediate cancellation of non-APST elected panchayat leaders. It may be mentioned here that the Apatsu had also earlier sent a reminder letter with a 20-day ultimatum which has expired. The Deputy Chief Minister, meanwhile, yet to respond to it. Hence, the union launched democratic movement against the government.
Our demand is clear that non-APST, they are participating, they are enjoying our indigenous right. So we being the indigenous people, we cannot tolerate such act. So we are directly demanding for immediate cancellation of that representative elected panchayat leader. And the second thing is that this panchayat post, they are directly connected to this PRC. Without getting any PRC and PRC, they cannot even participate in this panchayat election. That is our clear stand. That is our clear demand. देखिए ये तो क्लियर कट हम बोलेगा कि हमारा इसमें कोई ऐसे पॉलिटिकलाइज नहीं है। चलो जो बाकी जो हमको अगर पॉलिटिकल लीडर कोई जो है ये जेन्युइन इशू देख के अगर कोई थोड़ा अगर कुछ इधर आगे पीछे किया भी हो तो उसको तो हम मालूम नहीं, बिल्कुल हम मालूम नहीं, लेकिन हमारा डिमांड जो हमारा इशू जो हमारा डिमांड वो हमारा क्लियर है, नॉन पॉलिटिकलाइज है। ये तो नॉन पॉलिटिकलाइज है। आपने बोला लॉन्ग पेंडिंग ये है, लॉन्ग पेंडिंग हम पहले भी हम हाईलाइट किया है। इसमें जो है एक आदमी जो है 25 ईयर्स चेयर में अभी 30 ईयर्स हो रहा है, चेयर में रह रहा है, जब तक वो रहेगा हमारा लीडर कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा, ये सीधा सा बात है।
And on to Sikkim now. Well, Sikkim's Gyalching District Court has rejected the bail plea of SDF spokesperson Abhinash Yakha and Ringjing Norbu Bhutia. As per sources, one of the reasons of the rejection of the bail plea by the Sessions Court is because the investigation is in the initial stage. Earlier, on the 2nd of June, Ringjing Norbu Bhutia was reportedly seen entering Gyalching District Court to surrender. It may be mentioned here that SDF spokesperson Abhinash Yakha and Ringjing Bhutia had reportedly gone absconding after the gunfire incident that occurred on the 30th of April in Soring in West Sikkim. And on to Assam now. Well, after the devastations in Assam's Dima South district due to unprecedented rainfall and landslides, Commissioner PWD NH Raj Chakraborty today visited the landslide-affected portion of Haflong Silchar National Highway. The commissioner took stock of all the locations damaged by the incessant rain and landslides along the route of the Haflong Silchar Road. Meanwhile, the commissioner was accompanied by Dima Hasao Deputy Commissioner Nazreen Ahmed, Regional Officer NHAI Alok Kumar, and Assistant Commissioner Ibon Teron.
যিটো সলিউশন আছে পার্মানেন্ট সলিউশনটো আমি নিশ্চয় দেখা পামে, কিন্তু আমার আজিৰ দিনত আমাক ইমিডিয়েট সলিউশন লাগে, আমাৰ যাতে কমিউনিকেশ্যনটো ভালকে চলে। এইটো কাৰণে আজি আমি আহিছোঁ, মই PWDৰ কথা খবৰ ল'বলৈ গৈছিলোঁ, হাফলঙৰ ৰাস্তাটো চাই আহিলোঁ। তাত আমাৰ PWD ৰোডছৰ পৰা বেলেগ বেলেগ য'ত ডেমেজ হৈছে তাৰ ডেমেজ ষ্টাডি কৰিবৰ কাৰণে 6টা গ্ৰুপ বনাইছে আৰু এই 6টা গ্ৰুপে আজিকালিৰ ভিতৰত আহিবই তেওঁলোকে আৰু এইটো এছেছ কৰি পেলাই আমাৰ টেম্পৰৰী মানে এই বাৰিষাটো যাব লাগিব ইন দ্য মিন টাইম আমি কি ভাবিছোঁ আমাৰ পাহাৰীয়া জেগা অৰুণাচল হিমাচল বা কাশ্মীৰত যোনে জম্মু কাশ্মীৰ এইবিলাকত যোনে আমাৰ এক্সপাৰ্ট আছে যোনে এই ধৰণৰ প্ৰব্লেম ফেচ কৰি থাকে তেনেকুৱা এক্সপাৰ্ট আনিম বুলি আমি ভাবিছোঁ আমি মানে অসম চৰকাৰে আৰু আমি ডেফিনেটলি আমাৰ এজেঞ্চি NSIDCL আৰু NHIৰ লগত আমি কোঅৰ্ডিনেট কৰি ৰেলৱেকো আমি হাতত ল'ম লৈ পেলাই এটা পাৰ্মানেণ্ট চলিউশ্যন এইটো ৰাস্তাৰ কাৰণেতো NHI লৈছে কিন্তু আমি বাকী যিবোৰ ৰাস্তা আছে যিটো আপুনি ক'লে লংকা ৰাস্তা এটা কথা ক'লে এইমাত্ৰ আপুনি এই সকলোবোৰ ৰাস্তাতে আমি এটা চলিউশ্যন বিচাৰিছোঁ পাৰ্মানেণ্ট চলিউশ্যন যাতে ডিমা হাছাওত মানুহে কমিউনিকেশ্যনৰ কাৰণে আগলৈ অসুবিধা নহয় এইটোৱে আমাৰ এটেম্প হ'ব
আমাৰ লগত আছে আমাৰ নাহাই টিম আৰু স্পেচিয়েল কমিশ্যনাৰ PWD আৰু নাহাই আৰু ৰিজনেল অফিচাৰ তেওঁলোকে আহিলে আৰু তেওঁলোকৰ এইটো ৰাস্তাত কিমানখিনি ডেমেজ হৈছে আমি পৰহি চাই গৈছিলোঁ মই আৰু ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনৰ ফালৰ পৰা আৰু ডেমেজখিনি আজি দেখুৱাম বুলি ভাবিছোঁ এণ্ড দে হেভ এচিয়ৰ্ড আছ অল পচিবল হেল্প এণ্ড ৰিষ্টৰেশ্যনৰ কাৰণে যিমান সোনকালে পাৰে তেওঁলোকে কৰিব এইটো মানে এতিয়া বিগিনিং অফ দ্য ৰেইনি ছিজন আমি উই ষ্টিল টু চি মোৰ ৰেইনছ সেইকাৰণে আমি যিমান সোনকালে পাৰোঁ অকণমান পাৰ্মানেণ্টলি তেওঁলোকে কৈছে যে এতিয়া টেম্পৰৰী ষ্টেচন ইমিডিয়েট ৰেষ্টৰেশ্যন কিন্তু সিহঁতে আৰু एक्सपर्ट आनिबो टू लुक इनटू दिस डिमा हासाओ प्रॉब्लम
गार्ड में अभी एक यहाँ पर डेडिकेटेड ऑफिसर वो द प्रोजेक्ट डायरेक्टर का ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर डिप्लॉयमेंट हो चुका है ये ज्वाइन ऑन द 20th में और अभी सारे साइट को वो खुद ही यहाँ पर वो मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे हैं नो डाउट यहाँ पर जो सिचुएशन ही आज की जो स्थिति है जो हमने 27 तारीख को देखा था नीचे रेलवे द्वारा भी थोड़ा सा जो कटिंग है जिससे थोड़ा सा स्लिप हो गई थी तो फिर अभी हमने उनके साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन में उसको रिस्टोर कर रहा है और फिर जो कल जो बारिश हो गई जिसके रिगार्ड में थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम आई है तो ये कंटिन्यूस हमारा वो रिपेयर वो चलता रहेगा और हर जगह पूरे स्टेज में हमने मैन एंड मशीनरी भी डिप्लॉय हमने कर दिया है कि सो कि कोई इमरजेंसी में जहाँ भी रिक्वायरमेंट हो उसको इमीडिएटली वहाँ पर हेल्प कर सके
And in some other stories now. Well, the National Commission for Minorities has expressed happiness with the Assam government's move to provide certificates to 6 minority communities. The NCM asserted that it would be hugely beneficial for the 6 communities, namely Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, and Parsis living in the state. Talking to journalists, NCM Chairman Iqbal Singh Lalpura stated that acquiring such certificates will help students from the minority communities to avail education loan from class 1 to postgraduate level. Youths from these communities will be eligible to get loans at low rate of interest to start business ventures on their own. The NCM chairman said the commission has already issued an advisory to all states and union territories in the country to provide certificates to minorities. He praised the Assam government to take initiatives to execute the advisory. It may be mentioned here that Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma on Monday informed that the state cabinet had taken the decision to provide certificates to 6 minority communities in the state at the directive of the central government. He asserted that the move will help the minorities to secure benefits of various schemes, including scholarship funded by the center for these communities. Moving on now. Today, the concluding session of the All Assam Para Sports Meet was held in Guwahati. The session was held at the end of the 2-day-long Para Sports Meet. Pride's CMD Riniki Bhuya Sharma attended today's session, which was held at the Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium at Horuhojai. Para-athletes from various parts of Assam attended today's session. And talking at the event, Riniki Bhuya Sharma encouraged the para-athletes present there to follow their dreams and achieve more glory for their state and country. The event was held in association with the Assam Para-Olympics Association.
অনুষ্ঠান উদয়াচলৰ লগত মই আজি 12 বছৰে জড়িত আছো কিন্তু ইয়াতে মোৰ আজি যোৱা এবছৰ হৈছে কিন্তু ইয়াতে কৰিবলগীয়া বহুত আছে আৰু এটা যিমানখিনি পাৰিছো এবাৰ প্ৰথমবাৰ আহি এছ'চিয়েট হৈছো এবাৰ পেৰালিম্পিক এছ'চিয়েশ্যন চাওঁ ভৱিষ্যত কাৰণ বহুতখিনি টেলেণ্টছ আছে কেনেকৈ টেপ কৰি নেশ্যনেল লেভেলত লৈ যাব পাৰোঁ ইণ্টাৰনেশ্যনেল লৈ যাব পাৰোঁ এটা সৰু প্ৰচেষ্টা এটা আৰম্ভ কৰিছোঁ মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰীয়ে বহুতখিনি ইনিচিয়েটিভ আৰু বহুতখিনি পেৰা অলিম্পিক এছ'চিয়েশ্যনে বৰঙণি তেখেতে আগুৱাইছে আৰু যাৰ জৰিয়ত ভাবিছোঁ কি এতিয়া লাহে লাহে গোটেই আমি কেনেকৈ এটা প্লেন কৰিব লাগিব সেই এনেকৈ আগুৱাই লৈ যাব পৰা এটা ডেফিনেটলি প্লেন কৰিম এতিয়া বৰ্তমান যিহেতু আৰম্ভণি এই আৰম্ভণিটো আমি ইয়াৰ যোগেদি আৰম্ভ কৰিছোঁ
On to national focus now. In a tragic incident, as many as 8 people died in a fire at a chemical factory in Uttar Pradesh's Hapur district. Besides the death of 8 laborers, many others were injured in a blast at the electronic equipment manufacturing factory in Hapur district of Uttar Pradesh. After getting information, police and fire engines rushed to the spot to bring the flame under control. Reports suggest that over 15 workers suffered injuries in the explosion that took place at the factory located in the Dholana area of the district. The explosion took place in the boiler of the chemical factory in the Dholana industrial area in Hapur, 80 kilometers away from the national capital. And when the explosion occurred, several laborers were trapped inside the factory. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath conveyed his condolences to the bereaved families apart from ordering an inquiry into the matter. And meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed his condolences to the kin of those who lost their lives in the fire. Prime Minister Modi further said that the state government is actively involved in the treatment of the injured and all possible help Hapur. Well, Hapur IGP Praveen Kumar, while talking to the media, confirmed that 8 people have died and 15 others were injured. The police has initiated probe into the matter and action will be taken against those responsible.
देखिए ये इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट में एक यहाँ पर एक इक्विपमेंट बनाने की एक कारखाना है जिनको इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इक्विपमेंट के लिए अधिकृत किया गया था उसमें एक ये एक्सप्लोजन की बात बताई गई है इसमें कुल मिलाकर के 15 लोग इंजर्ड हुए हैं जिनको की प्राथमिकता पर टॉप मोस्ट लेवल पर लोगों को हॉस्पिटलाइज किया गया है और जिनको सुरक्षित तरह से हर संभव इलाज कराया जा रहा है अभी तक की जो सूचना प्राप्त हुई है उसमें 8 लोगों की दुखद मृत्यु हुई है हमारी फॉरेंसिक टीम्स ने और हमारी जो रिलीफ और रेस्क्यू की टीम्स है वो सभी काम कर रही हैं हम सभी संभव आयामों पर इसमें विश्लेषण अपना कर रहे हैं और बहुत जल्दी ही घटना के गहराई तक जाकर जो भी दोषी होगा उससे कठोर कार्रवाई मैंने बताया ना कि इसको एक पर्टिकुलर कार्य के लिए अधिकृत किया गया था अब उसमें क्या शर्तों का उल्लंघन था या नहीं था ये सभी चीजें विवेचना का विषय जांच कमेटी इसके लिए बनाई जाएगी अभी हम लोग स्वयं मैं मंडलायुक्त यहाँ पर स्वयं आकर के हम लोग इसको देख रहे हैं और बहुत जल्दी ही हम लोग इसको तह तक जा करके पहली प्राथमिकता हमारी हमेशा होती है कि जो हमारे घायल हैं उनका इलाज कराया जाए जिसके लिए हम लोगों ने कार्य आरंभ कर दिया है साथ ही साथ में हम लोग ये भी सुनिश्चित करा रहे हैं कि जो भी इसमें दोषी होगा
Well, news and updates continue on Northeast Live, so stay tuned for more news. Thanks for watching.
Live every weekend talk show on upcoming and hidden talents from Northeast and beyond. Watch Showtime with me, Aaron Lingdor, only on Northeast Live.